Flosstube. It's Wayward Stitcher, and it's the middle of 2017. I apologize immensely for disappearing for 6 months, maybe 7. I don't think I was here in December, so probably 7 months. Yeah, Christmas was that long ago, whoops. But I'm here now, and I am feeling the desire to make videos again. I have felt my desire to stitch, and I have about half an hour to film this video because I have a little bit of a birthday celebration going on this afternoon for my great aunt, who is soon moving away at the end of the month. She's going to be moving an hour and a half away. So we're having a birthday for her today, and we're just going to hang out and celebrate and just enjoy her company for a little while. Assuming the weather stays good. We just did have a, pretty sudden, very quick, severe thunderstorm. It was very strange. It rolled in really fast. I didn't even know we were supposed to get rain today. I was like, is that thunder? And then it was, crazy, and then I called my aunt because I was like, with this crazy weather, I don't know if I'm going to come and get you today because, I don't want you to be out here when there's severe weather happening and all that. And then, the next minute, it's, crazy wind, it's pouring, there's hail. I was like, oh my. And then it just stopped, and now the sun's out, so crazy weather. And there's been a lot of flooding in my area. I live in Ontario, and, where I work, the next town over, a bunch of the places around, the campground where my grandma camps throughout the summer, all flooded. It is crazy, crazy. And I'm just hoping that all this rain that we're supposed to get over the next couple of days doesn't make that worse. Because I really want to be able to get to work, and I really want to be able to, not have to be evacuated or something. We have a river right kind of across the street from where I live, and that's already flooded people's yards and campgrounds and stuff like that, because there's a campground across the street. So, yeah, crazy flooding. But so far, we're okay. This past week, we had the snowbirds here. I don't know if any of you... some of you might not follow me on Instagram, but I did post some stuff to my story on Instagram of them flying overhead. We live, and I mean this very literally, we live in the backyard of our municipal airport. So it's awesome. So we didn't have to travel anywhere to go see them, and we didn't have to pay for parking. We didn't have to get it was just nice. They were in our backyard, and we could just watch from our porch, and it was awesome. So that was, if you guys don't know who the snowbirds are, look them up. They are a really awesome, the group of 9 planes that do synchronized flying, and it's just, it's crazy. They are awesome. And their demonstrations that they did for us went smoothly, as far as I could tell. There was no accidents, no little, so that's good. And so as far as life updates, why I've been gone for 6 months, I want to apologize to everybody. I know I was gone for a really long time, but there's reasons for that. There usually is. And I'll explain them to you. I'm not gonna not. Look at my new cup. Yeah. I love Frozen. Not ashamed to admit it. Anyway. I will explain that to you guys. I have no problem with that. But some of it it's a little touchy, so I'm not gonna delve exactly. I'm not gonna tell you the full stories. You're just gonna get recap. Just because a lot of it, I really just don't want to relive it. So, first off, the first thing that happened in the beginning of 2017, the family member of mine, if you remember, that was my mother's cousin, but they were really good friends, brother and sister. He was the one that had cancer. he lost his battle in March. I want to say March. Yeah. And so that was hard. It was oddly difficult for me, but it was definitely more difficult for my mom. So I was there for her. We went to the funeral and, you know, all that. And then not long after that, my boss's dog got hit by a car. And that was rough. She texted me one day on my day off and told me that she'd been hit by a car, and I was like devastated. Because she's a little Yorkie like Emma. Or she was a little Yorkie like Emma. And when I let Emma outside, I will be 150% honest with you and tell you I don't put her on a leash. We live in a mobile home trailer park, and there's not a whole lot of traffic around here, so I'm not like really concerned. She goes out, she goes pee, she comes back in the house. She doesn't stay out there. And if I know she's gonna stay out there, I do tie her up. But still, that really hit me pretty hard, just because the other dog was a Yorkie too, and it's just like, you know, it makes you want to hug your own animal and love them so much more when stuff like that happens to another animal that you know. So there was that. And then the last thing that really was hard, I think this happened in April, Nikki and I broke up. So, yeah, and we are no longer talking, and that's as far as I'll go on that. So that was hard too. So in between all of those things, all of that loss and trying to cope with things, and just my stitchy bug went away. I didn't feel like stitching. I spent most of my time playing video games, because that's the only thing I felt like doing. Because I could lose myself in those things and not let my brain think about something else at the same time. Like, you're focused on the game, you're focused on what you're doing in the game, and you're not, like, stitching is fine, but while you're stitching, you still have time to, like, think about other stuff. And I'm one of those people that, like, if the house is quiet and I'm not watching Flosstube, or I'm not, you know, doing something else while I'm stitching, I will talk to myself. And then I would, like, talk to myself about all this crap that's going on, and then I would just work myself up and make myself upset. So I just didn't stitch. I mean, I picked up my stitching here and there, but it wasn't like, I wasn't going crazy with it, because I just really didn't feel like it, and I wasn't going to push myself. I had all these plans to get all these things finished this year, and I mean, while I did get some things finished, I'm behind, and I'm not worried about it. I'm really not worried about it. But now that I'm back here with you guys, I'm hoping that's going to change, and I'm hoping that I will get back into feeling motivated. I'll have more finishes. Maybe I'll start more stuff. Maybe next year I'll join Stitch Mania. Like, Mania. I already joined Stitch Mania. What am I talking about? Recently, by the way, within the last month. Yeah, maybe I'll do Mania next year. Who knows? Maybe I'll get that brave. We'll see. But I did join Stitch Mania a couple weeks ago, and I did it just to try to get some more motivation to stitch, and you know what? It worked. Between that and doing hangouts with my friends, that really did help a lot. I'm not gonna say I'm mostly the one running the Stitching Nest, the group with me and my friends. I am an admin there, but I'm not like the owner. But I am trying to run that as well. And I'll be honest, it's not doing that great. It's quieted down now, and I think a lot of people are just discouraged because we do hangouts. And that's unfortunate, but that's just the way things are. But I will link the group down below, and if you're interested in joining, please do. If you guys are Flosstubers and you want to join in the Stitching Nest, and you're not afraid to do hangouts, come and join us. Like, we don't bite, I swear. We are really fun, amazing people, and there's never a hangout where you're not laughing so hard you want to pee your pants. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, we always are. We're just a fun group of ladies. So just, you know, at least look into the group, and if it's not something you're interested in, that's cool. But again, kind of like Stitch Mania, if you ask to join and you don't have anything Stitchy related in your profile, or your likes or anything like that, we don't see anything, you know, knitting, crochet, needlepoint, not all that. If we don't see anything that's related to stitching or, you know, knitting, crochet, anything like that, then we probably won't accept you, just because we want to make sure you're not like a spammer, you know what I'm saying? So make sure you have something Stitchy related in your profile before you ask to join. And if you don't have anything Stitchy related but you want to join, please make sure to give us like a proper like send one of us a message and explain why there's nothing Stitchy related in your profile or something like that. I think that would be fine. So aside from that, I'm really enjoying Stitch Mania, the group. There's lots of people and there's a lot of feedback and so many amazing projects. I'm really happy to have joined it. So Katie and Garrett, if you are by any chance watching this, thank you for creating such an amazing group, and thank you for working so hard to keep that group up and running, and for, like, you know, planning all of these events and stitch-alongs and stuff. Like, you guys do an amazing job, and like, I'm sure all of us can't thank you enough for your hard work. So thank you guys. And I think that's enough rambling for now. That's like 10 minutes worth of rambling, so I think I'll get into my stitching. Oh no, one more thing I forgot. Emma is now in the early stages of kidney failure, I think. It is renal disease, so her kidneys aren't functioning properly. And the veterinarian said she has something that's called protein losing, something, anyway, her kidneys aren't holding protein and it's going into her urine and stuff like that. She did just get over a bladder infection. We just finished up her antibiotics for that. And, she's doing well. She's fine. Like, she's not acting sick or anything like that. It's just, you know, as animals get older, those are types of things, you know, your organs start not working as great as they used to. And it's her kidneys. I'm just glad it's not like her heart or anything. Like, her kidneys I can deal with, but I wouldn't be able to deal with a heart problem. Like, oh my gosh. So she's on special medication for that. And like I said, she just cleaned up antibiotic for this thing, and she's on special food as well, a renal diet, which she loves. She's not a picky dog, so. But all of that aside now, I will talk about stitching. I have, I'm not sure how I want to start this. Do I want to go with finishes first? I think so. You guys deserve some finishes. I'm sitting on the floor today because no matter where I sat in my house, it didn't seem like I had enough space for any of my stuff. So I can appreciate those of you that film your Flosstube videos from sitting on the floor, because that just seems like a good idea. I don't know why I haven't been doing it before. I just didn't think like I had a good enough place to put my phone while I recorded. I'm using my bookshelf, so it's all good. Alright, so some of you may have already seen this finish, but I FFO'd it. If you remember in my last Flosstube video, I was working on a project out of the 2016 Just Cross Stitch Halloween edition, and it was Boo by Ursula Michael. Well, I finally finished that project, and I finished it in a wooden hoop that I got from Michael's, and that's it. I think it looks really good like this, and I think the circular hoop worked wonders for it. So this is my first time ever FFOing something with a hoop. So I'm pretty proud of myself. Like, the back's not like super fantabulous. Like, I just trimmed it's all good. I think it's all good. And what do I want to say about this? This was stitched 2/2 on 28 count Lugana. or even weave, whichever you want to say. So I really had fun with this. I love Ursula Michaels' designs, and you know, when I started this, I was terrified of it, to be honest, to be completely honest. I was so afraid that I was going to count wrong. I wasn't used to doing even weave, and I was more or less concerned about the back stitching. And I did my first ever speciality stitches on this. I think I remember saying this back in the, I think they're like, are they diamond eyelet stitches? These little guys? You can't see them very well because my phone's not, and this one too. That's a Rhodes diamond thing? I can't remember what it's called. You guys that are specialty stitchers will know, but yeah. I really love working on this. I will do more Ursula Michaels in the future for sure. And then I had another little finish. Oh. I have more finishes than I thought. Now, I apologize if you guys have already seen some of this. I just don't remember what I showed in my last video, and I really didn't feel like going back and showing it again, or looking through it again. But I did this Christmas door little stitch. And this was out of a magazine. I don't remember which one, but once I get this uploaded, I will link everything down below if I didn't, you know, say it here. So then you guys know exactly what magazine and what issue and all that. So that you guys can look for yourselves. I mean, you know, talk about waste of Ada, but it was a scrap and it worked well for me. And then, as you guys remember, I was doing Sailor Jupiter, which was supposed to be for my ex, but which now will no longer be for my ex. But I finished her as well. So there she is. And this background was supposed to be white, but I used one of the DMC variegated flosses. So I think I messed up on this. About halfway down, as you can tell here, I think I stopped stitching how you're supposed to stitch and buggered it up, but it's okay. I'm fine with it. It looks good. So she's also finished. I feel like she took forever. Now my most prized and most favorite finish. I finished Merlin, guys. Pardon me. Coffee. I finished Merlin. He is done. As done as he will get. He's not framed, but that will come very soon. I want to have him framed by the end of the year for sure. And I'm going to try to frame him myself. I don't know how well that's going to go, but I'm going to try. I really want to try, you know, pinning and lacing and doing all of that. Because A, actual framing is like way expensive. And B, the last time I took... the last place that I take my cross stitches to is fine, but this one cross stitch that I have, my big giant Sailor Venus that I have on my wall, I realized they didn't know how to stretch it, they didn't know how to pin it, they didn't do nothing with it, and the fabric is bubbled, which makes me so mad. That was a $300 framing job, and the cross stitch is bubbled underneath it. I'm so freaking pissed. Ugh. Anyway, that's why I'm going to try to do it myself. But, I will show him to you guys right now. He still needs another bit of an ironing, I think. But, here he is. Let's see if I can get... I'll just use this paper. Here he is. In all his beautiful glory. He took me forever to stitch, I feel like, but I had a lot of fun with him. I love Joan Elliott. She's my favorite designer, if you guys didn't already know that. So, changes that I made in this pattern. The cloud, the inside of the cloud, I did not stitch. I asked for advice on a couple Facebook groups and on Instagram, and people said to leave the cloud not white, so that it would reflect the fabric, which I thought was like an awesome idea. So that's what I did. I did a Mill Hill bead for his eye instead of a French knot. Not because I don't like French knots, just because I had the beads laying around, I thought, why not? And then the other change I made was if you guys remember me saying I didn't want to do the white specks in his wing because I thought that was ridiculous. So the white specks that were supposed to be in his wing, I filled in with DMC Light Effects E747. Can't really see it too well, but that's what I did. Because it was a color that kind of matched the color of his wings, just to give him a little bit of extra sparkle. I figured his wings should sparkle. And yeah, my initials and date of the year at the bottom. And yeah, I really had a lot of fun doing him. I felt like it took me forever, but you know, I'm really, you know, my favorite part about him? His beads. I love his beads. And in his tail, I just love beads. I love beads. Oh my gosh. I didn't know when I first did beading that I would love it as much as I do, but I really do. I love beading, guys. I love it. Let me get back up on my pillow here. So that was that. Those are my finishes. So I finished a couple this year. Almost one a month, you know, so not bad. Yeah, that's almost one a month. That's 3, okay. Not one a month, one every half, or one every month and a half, maybe. So that's that. Whips, I guess. While I'm talking about whips, I'll take my first one off the Q-snap. Because I'm working in a different area, and, Oh, while I'm taking this off the Q-snap, I know this is haul, but it's kind of like, it's here and it's whatever. I got a new grime guard from Maggie's Mind Race. It's just got blue hearts on it. I love it. This is an 8x8 from an 8x8 Q-snap. So I got that a while ago. So the whip that I'm going to show you guys right now is my Heaven and Earth. Which Heaven and Earth, you might ask? Well, the only Heaven and Earth that I've really enjoyed working on, and that's my dragon. My Ann Stokes dragon. And Needle, you really need to, like, be on the needle minder right now, because if you're not... My word. Okay, so... Pardon the wrinkles, fresh out of the Q-snap, people. But this is Lucifer, aka my Dragon's Lair piece by Ann Stokes, which is a mini, being stitched 1/1 on 25 count Lugana. And, oh gosh, where's that paper that I just had? Ah! Pardon the noise, guys, I'm so sorry. Gosh, the lighting here is just not that fantastic. And this is where I'm at. So, I got the first page completed, like 100% completed. And I've worked into page 2. And I've also worked downwards. As you can see, I've got almost half of another page done, or about a third of another page done here. So I've been working on him quite a bit too. And I really love working on him. He's a lot of fun to stitch. And then the needle minder, I think you guys have already seen it. But it's my Sherlock needle minder from Minding My Minders, which is now no longer open. I don't love Sherlock, guys. Okay, I I do love Sherlock. Let's be honest. I just purchased, for those of you who are Sherlock fans, I just bought The Abominable Bride on DVD the other day, and I still haven't had a chance to watch it, but I'm super excited to watch it because I haven't seen it yet. And my mom's gonna watch it with me. She's watched the series with me before, so I think I've got her addicted to Benedict Cumberbatch. Not sure, but I think I have. Because her and I also watched Doctor Strange together, which was awesome too. I don't know if you guys can see from here. It should be there. Yeah, you kind of can't see. It's like right there. It's all... That's Doctor Strange. The sun's doing weird things to it because it's one of those, like, you move it and it changes, yeah. Anyways, that came with a DVD and I stuck it on my nerd wall. This is my wall of things I love. So there's like, there's pictures of me and the girls from work. There's a Pokemon there, Batman, Supernatural, Loki, Doctor Strange, my pets, and my best friend and her family and her little boy, who I call my nephew because he's basically my nephew. And my needle minders are on the other door. They're my Stormtrooper and my Batman needle minder. That's where I stick my needle minders, on my closet door when I'm not using them. So that is my Haid. I'm gonna keep this piece of paper around. And I've been using felt with my Q-snap as well. I find it helps a lot with the tension. Whoops. How did you guys get stuck in there? Alright. Moving on. My Sam Winchester piece. Not too many stitches has been put into this since I last worked on it, but I've worked on it. So come here, you. This is where I'm at. So I think I ended some threads that were parked in here in his forehead. And yeah, not too much. Like I said, my love of stitching had flown away for a while, so even Sam didn't get any work. Jared will never see this, I'm sure. And you know, when it's finished, I'm gonna post a picture of it on Twitter. And I'll tag him in it, and if he sees it, awesome. If he doesn't, also awesome. But I'm gonna try. What other whips have I got that you guys have seen before? Bambi's first year. I think I've done some work on that this year. I can't remember anymore. But that's what it'll look like. You guys have seen these Disney kits 1,000 times, I'm sure, but I really hope. This fabric's a freaking mess. Yuck. But this is where I've gotten on it. So I got up to that corner. And I'm really hoping that that all lines up in the end, because if it doesn't, I will be mad. But I was really loving this. So we'll see. I have to get back to it. I have so many other things I want to finish first before I decide to finish a full coverage. We'll see how it goes, though. We'll see how it goes for sure. Just gotta clean up as I go. I've learned my lesson. Next is my Elegant Geisha by Dimensions. She was my travel piece. I was taking her to and from like the hairdressers and stuff. So that's what she looks like. And that's where I'm at so far. Let me turn that around there. So I was working on the yellow in her kimono. That's just basically all I've done. But she is on my list of whips to finish this year, so hopefully she gets done. Hopefully she gets done. I only have about 4 whips in my list of things to finish this year, and that I think is a decent goal. The next one, if you guys remember, I started Asian Scene by Dimensions as well. So it looks like. I made a boo-boo. I have to frog some of this, but the last time I worked on it was on St. Patrick's Day. So I could stitch a little bit of green. And I stitched some green. Not a lot, but some. So, you know. And I apologize for the lighting, but I've learned that no matter where I go in my house, no matter what I try to do, my lighting situation is not going to be good. There's too many trees around my house. That is the problem there. Alright. I think that's it for whips. So now I have new starts and haul. So new starts, I will start off with my other Disney Dreams kit that I started, which is the Lion King, which has frustrated me to absolutely no end. If you guys saw my Instagram, you'll know that I like really wanted to quit, which was another reason why I didn't stitch for a really long time. But I'm hoping now that that's changed and I can fix it. There's just one section of color that I need to change because, as some of you may know and may be familiar with the fact that these Disney Dreams kits oftentimes come with the wrong colors. It's so frustrating, but I know. So again, that's what it looks like. I got the full size, and this is where I'm at. So those of you that have stitched this before know that this lighter pink color in the side of the mountain, that's what needs to change. I need to find a decent conversion for that, and I think I did. I wrote it down. So I think that color, which was supposed to be, you know, kit colors, I'm converting to DMC, and for any of you that need to know this conversion for that color specifically, which is supposed to be darker, like a more mauvey, purple, whatever, is a mix between one strand of 315 and one strand of the kit color 6210. So that's what's going to have to happen. I'll rip this out and I'll fix it. But that's the color that those are the two threads I put together that I think worked out to be the appropriate color for that side of the mountain. And my Bambi needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. So we'll see how that goes. As you can tell, I've been trying to work across the top of the pattern and then work down. We'll see how that goes. But that is Bambi's, oh, so used to saying that. Lion King. I'm hoping soon that I can get into finishing it. See, like you guys can tell here, the color by Simba's head and in this mountain are not supposed to be like pink. They're like a really dark, like purpley color. So I'll try to fix that. I just, you know, I have never changed any of my colors in my Bambi kit, and I'm not going to. I'm far too advanced in it now to quit and change things. So that kit's just gonna get stitched the way it came. Like, I'm not doing shenanigans with that. Only because I've gone so far with it already. Lion King, however, I will do my best to make sure that everything gets converted the way it's supposed to be converted. And hopefully fix it. But if any of you have done the Lion King and have converted it into DMC and finished it that way, can you please send me a message and tell me what your conversions were so that I can kind of play with them and see if I can get mine to look half decent? That would be greatly appreciated. Because these kits are so expensive and, you know, so much time goes into them. I don't want to waste 3/4 of my time playing with the colors. It's just not a good idea. So, that's that. And my next whip, I guess I'll show you guys. I guess it's these are new starts. Well, as you can tell, Lion King was a new start. But as are these. My current whip and the one that I'm trying to finish right now, if you guys are following me on Instagram, is Horse Pals by Dimensions. It's a small kit, so it's not really taking me that long to do. And I am almost done. This is how far I've gotten. So I've been working down on this side here. I really enjoy this piece. If you guys don't already know, my favorite animals are wolves and horses. So, in the future, you might see more kits with, or more projects with wolves and horses, but that's just because they're my favorite animals, and, you know, if I can stitch them and hang things up in my house that reflect that, then that's great. So, I'm really loving this. This horse looks amazing. One change only. This is gonna, this might blow your minds, guys. I don't even know. See this French knot? See how nice it looks compared to the size of his eye? Okay, that's 2 strands of white white kit floss. It called for 4 strands for a French knot. I'm like, you people nuts? That thing's gonna take up like his whole freaking face if you put 4 strands in there. So I did 2, and I think, and the same with this eye. I think those look way better compared. Excuse me, coffee's giving me the burps. Relative to the size of their eye, I think the 2 strands is better than the 4. Otherwise, they would have been way too bulky. But I'm hoping within the next week to have this finished. So that is that whip / new start. Now, the new start that I am the most excited about, I guess I'll save that for last, actually. So, this new start that I did isn't very advanced yet, but it is another Heaven and Earth Designs. Let me find the pattern. I'm sorry it's not in color, guys, but I'll link it below so that you guys can see it in color. So I started Mini Equinox by Bench Schlick, and that, like I said, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it looks like. Again, in black and white. I apologize, but that's all I have. So I'll link it below, the image below, so that you guys can see it in color, but I started that. And this is also, again, being stitched 1/1 on 25 count Lugana. Like I said, guys, it's not that far, but I started it, and that's what matters. There's my start. My miniature start. And she's not going to be that big. She's just, you know, square. She won't take me that long to do once I get going on her, I think. But my goal is to get a little more, a little farther in my dragon before I really put any serious work into her. I at least want to get another page finish on my dragon before I put more work into her. And heck, I might even next year or even this year, I have to go back into Stitch Mania and see what kind of events are being held, like what kind of stitch-alongs and all that kind of stuff. Because maybe I can pull her out for one of those and just put some work into her. Have an excuse to put some work into her without saying, oh, like she's in my rotation now, I have to work on her kind of thing. So maybe that might help. You know, I think that all of my projects might get a little more love that way if I, you know, stick to doing some of the events. But I'm not going to hold myself to them. Like, I'm not going to put myself into these events and say I have to do it. But, you know, when the mood strikes and I feel like it, I probably will. And then my last whip that you guys haven't seen yet, which is also a new start for this year. If you guys might remember, I started a SAL, or was going to start a SAL this year with Jess X Stitches, Calico, and my friend Diane. And we were all each going to stitch a Nora Corbett Bewitching Pixie. Diane has since finished hers. I don't know the status of Jess's or Calico's, but I'm not finished mine either, so that's okay. But I was doing Gigi. And I have since gotten quite a bit done on her. I mean, she's not done. She's nowhere near done, I'll be honest. But I'm excited. So And then I will mention to you guys, I have made some changes, and I'll mention them to you guys. So, this is Gigi. My Sam & Dean needle minder. Zach Fair needle minder. Those are both from Minding My Minders, which again is no longer open. So, my first time ever using Kreinik in her broom. Loved it. I mean, I've got some little tags in the back here that I have to tack down yet that kind of messed up, but it worked. This is being stitched on 18 count no name fabric from Mo's sale, which was a gift from Diane. And then the only alteration that I've made to this so far is her skin. Well, not her skin, but the back stitching on her skin. It was charted for, hang on a second. It was stitched, like, DMC 414, which was a gray color. Now, if you can see from there, obviously the back stitching on her skin is not gray, for the obvious reason that it was getting lost in the fabric, so I couldn't do it. So I went through my stash, and I thought, I've got a full set of DMC now, so I should have something that will work. So I swapped out, oh my gosh, this fuzz. I swapped out the 414 for DMC 3064. So that turned out pretty good, I think. Yeah. So after my horses, she is the next whip in the rotation of trying to get things finished. I really do enjoy working on her. I do not enjoy working on 18 count Ada, which is part of my problem. I think you guys have heard that from me more than enough, but I think she's looking good. The only thing I'm concerned of when I go back is the big beads that are supposed to go in here. You know, if any of you guys have stitched her before and stitched her on 18 count, let me know how that turns out, because I'm concerned about it. There's these 3 lumpy beads that are supposed to go in there, and I'm like, is this fabric too small for those beads? Like, oh my gosh, I'm concerned. But I love her. I love Nora Corbett's. And yeah, so enjoying her. And like I said, she'll be the next finish that I do next to my horses. And I think that's it for whips, guys. So now I guess I have haul and other stuff. So the other stuff, as I mentioned, I now do have a full set of DMC. That's just the regular colors. I'm not talking like variegateds, like all the Kreinik, or like, not the Kreiniks, the light effects. I'm not counting all that. I'm just counting the basic set of DMC. I have a full set now, so I'm excited about that. So now I can start a project whenever I feel like it, assuming I have the fabric. And we'll go from there. So first off, I just wanted to mention to you guys that I did buy a new planner. So I'm hoping now that I'm part of Stitch Mania, I can write into my journal when events are taking place and if I did stitch during those events and all that kind of stuff. So I got a tiny little planner, and I've already written in it. Each day I'm going to write in what day it is, what project I worked on, and you know, anything else stitchy related, like purchased stuff from 123 Stitch, or delivery came from 123 Stitch, that kind of stuff. That's going to go in here. And my cat is stuck in one of the bedrooms. Give me a moment. What are you stuck? Yeah. Sorry about that. I'll bring the baby on camera. So, now that I have the full set of DMC, like I said, I can start projects whenever I really feel like it, assuming I have fabric. And then, like I said, that journal hopefully will help me stay motivated and on top of what I'm working on when I finish things, when I start things, all of that. I've tried doing journals before and it's never gone well, but I'm really gonna hope this time I'm going to be late. I gotta finish this up really quickly, guys. So the next thing, like I said, hopefully that stays on top of things. I was supposed to be at her place like 5 minutes ago. Whoops. Anyways, next thing. I am starting to reorganize how I stash my magazines, hoping to keep them in better condition. I have labeled this binder. Each tab on here has the month and the year of the magazine. And then, gotta try to get up here so you guys can see. And then all of the patterns are in sleeves. I've cut them down and made sure they fit in the magazine, you know, February 2011. And I've organized them by year. So I'm hoping that will help with organization of some of my stuff and take care of some, when you think about it, this one binder, you think about the small binder compared to the stack of magazines that I had, right? Like how much space am I saving? Maybe not that much, but you know, then I don't have my magazines taking up space in drawers. They'll be in binders, hopefully on a bookshelf when I get a bookshelf sometime. I'm in the process of going through my craft room again. It's a complete and utter mess right now, but I'm trying to go through some things and that. So, the last little bit is just haul, and then I need to get the heck out of here. So, I'll start with just this last magazine that I just purchased, which the front cover is a project I do hope to stitch next year, which is just cross stitch June 2017 with the lovely Joan Elliott mermaid on the front. So I do plan on stitching her. I'm just going to get some regular old, you know, regular colored Lugana or something and stitch her on that. So I have that. If you guys want to flip through of this magazine, please let me know. I will do that, if it hasn't been done already. My 1, 2, 3 stitch order, which was my last recent one. I picked up another Mill Hill kit, the Evergreen Snowman. I really like him, he's cute. I did get another Ursula Michaels, and this one's Let's Get Spooky. So I might do this for Halloween this year. I might also swap these threads out and use my Moe's Sail Flosses. See how that goes. We'll see. And then I also got my very first frosted pumpkin. I apologize for the glare. It's still in the package, but I got Cherry Blossom Festival sampler. That's really hard to see. See how the lettering gets lost on that fabric? Yikes. Can't even tell there's an alphabet in there, but yeah. Since Japan is one of my favorite places, I had to get this. It's not my favorite place because I've been there. It's just my favorite place because it's so pretty. And last but not least, another new start for next